AA Best Bail Bonds. Big game coverage live from Las Vegas. Powered by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Synergenics, and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. In Las Vegas, our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues, presented by Synergenics and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. 5 o'clock in San Antonio, and joined by former Smithson Valley Ranger Andrew Sendejo. What's up, man?
What's up, man? It's been a while.
We're becoming an annual event here, on Radio Row. Though we talk to you throughout the year, but this is fun. You love coming to Radio Row.
Yeah, no, it's good to see some familiar faces, see you guys. Just see some other guys that I played with, catch up with other people. Always get to go to a new city every year, so always a good time.
So what is that like when you see some guys you used to play with? Y'all swap stories? You say hello? Is there any kind of bonding going on there?
Yeah, you just, you obviously, you kind of keep up with each other through social media, some, responses to, different posts and different things, some DMs, but not a lot of face-to-face, so it's always good to catch up, make sure they're doing good, they're healthy, and so it's always good to see the guys in person. So
when you think about the fact that you're not playing anymore, even last year I thought, you're going to go back and play if you get a call. Yeah, and you stayed out. Is it harder the further away you get from your playing days?
No, it's easier because you realize you're like, if I tried to sprint right now, I would blow both my hamstrings off my body. The further you get away from having to tackle a large running back, you watch the games now, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, I could not do that right now. My whole body would explode. So it's, for me, it was I did my time. I played as hard as long as I could.
Did your time like you were in prison. I know, right? I did my time.
Like I gave it all I had. I played a lot longer than I thought I was going to play, and so you have to be satisfied with that and be happy with what you were able to accomplish while you had the opportunity. And it's almost like a new life in a sense. You kind of go into this next chapter of your life that you don't always know when that's going to happen. Some guys, they do retire when they whenever they want to, depending on their situation. Some of us play for as long as they can, and so it's kind of like almost like a fresh start going into another chapter of your life.
Is it, do most guys go into something else? When they retire from football? Because most of you guys are still very young when you retire from football. Most guys have that second career?
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of guys, stay involved, whether it's in coaching or just athletics in general, is, that's part of your life. And it's one of the kind of only ways to continue to get those highs and lows and excitement of the game is to be, involved in some capacity, whether it's a coach, an assistant, whatnot, and to be able to, stay in that kind of like sports bubble in a sense.
Andrew Sendejo joining us here on the Blitz 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Knowing, watching you play in high school, right? Watching you play in the NFL, you're a big hitter. You've got hats that I love. If you've got one, show it to our people watching on YouTube. Because I love this. I assume you're selling these.
Which camera? Where?
That one.
Yeah, one of these. We'll see it. Make football violent again.
Yes. So this hat. So there's a lot of stories behind this hat.
A lot of stories.
It's in 2018 I wore that hat and kind of went viral. The NFL had changed a bunch of these helmet rules and whatnot, which I totally understand. But some of them were a little egregious to where I felt like it was almost impossible to abide by the league rules, and it was actually making defensive players, it was putting them in an unsafe position by asking us to try to dip our head out of the way, and when you do that and you put your head to either side, that's when you get hit in the side of the head, and that's when you actually get knocked out and get a lot of these concussions. And I'd been wearing it for probably 6 months until they changed the league rules, and then all of a sudden some media guy snapped a pic, and SportsCenter posted it, TMZ posted it, a couple other people, but I resurrected these hats because I had a guy come up to me in an airport about a month ago, and he just walked up to me and said, "Hey, man, make football violent again." He just gave me a dap, and he just walked off. And I was thinking, shoot, like, I didn't realize, like, that was a thing. Like, when I was in Minnesota, people would come up to me, and they would say, "Hey, man, make football violent again," or they would ask me to sign that with my name. And so, I sent out a little a little tweet and some Instagram posts, and I was like, hey, like, should I resurrect these hats? And out of the very small following that I had a lot of responses, and so I said, screw it, there's some hats. You can actually buy these online. We have a little landing page for them. It's www.mfva.shop. Stands for Make Football Violent Again. And not to be misconstrued, being violent doesn't mean hitting with your head. You can be violent and hit with your shoulder. Yeah. There's a lot of ways to. It's more of kind of a mentality of we're not trying to play flag football, and that being a old school kind of hard nosed defensive player. You got to be physical. We got to be violent at times.
You were a big hitter. You were known for that. You were a big hitter. Andrew, I don't know how defensive guys, especially secondary guys, play anymore in the NFL. The one rule that drives me nuts is the underthrown pass, and the receiver comes back, the defensive guy says, and pass interference. How do you play football like that?
You don't. You just get the flag, and then you keep playing.
It's crazy.
It's I always say, like, if I go back in time, I probably would have been a receiver because all the rules are going against us, and receivers get paid more money just to have all the rules in their favor, and they can basically do whatever they want. But it is tough being a DB. It's part of it. It's obviously it's an offensive league. The rules are in their favor. And that's just how my life went. And I was a defensive back, and so I just tried to uphold, that physical mentality. I wasn't like a cover corner, although I did play nickel for one playoff game against the Saints, where I was one-on-one in the slot with Mike Thomas and Ted Ginn, if you know who those guys are.
Yes.
They're pretty good receivers. It's tough, and, the rules will continue to kind of go in the favor of the offense, just how it is.
Andrew Sendejo joining us here on the Blitz. Big hitter for sure. I know your last play you don't remember, right?
I remember it because I have a video of it, but at the time, yeah, it was one of those things where I was like, I think this happened, and then you watch the play, and you're like, oh, I do remember that now. But yeah, it was a pretty aggressive, very gruesome concussion. It was in my 12th year. It was my second concussion of the year. Part of also why, ending my career was, I was like, okay, I'm still healthy. I can walk. Don't want to sustain any more concussions. I got to the point, my mom, my friends are like, I think you should stop playing. But yes, there's a gruesome video somewhere on YouTube probably.
Who was the guy that you watched growing up? Like a guy like Ronnie Lott maybe, or who? How did you get to become the player that you were?
I didn't watch any football growing
up. Really?
I was a soccer player. The way football found me was because I got red carded in every soccer game. I fouled out at every AAU basketball game. And then I finally started playing football in middle school. You grow up down in San Antonio area, you're going to have to at least go out for football at some point.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, you can actually hit these people, and it's allowed. There's no you don't get in trouble for it. And so football kind of found me in that sense. And it just, luckily where I grew up, where I went to high school, football was a huge deal, Smithson Valley. And, that was really a huge part of my foundation of being able to make it to to the NFL, to even get recruited to go to Rice. And so just even the coaching staff I had, very old school, hard-nosed, really kind of ingrained a lot of those, kind of that mentality in me. And it kind of just stayed with me all through my whole life.
Old school, hard-nosed coaches. That's Larry Hill.
Yeah.
Could also be Mike Zimmer.
Yes, it could.
Mike Zimmer, rumored to be possible candidate to be the next defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. Thoughts?
Obviously I'm a fan of Zim. I was with Zim from 2014 on through his end of Minnesota, but he was old school. It reminded me of kind of my upbringing in football, just old school mentality, play tough, play physical. He was all about the hard work, the grind. I learned a lot from him defensively, and had some really good years in Minnesota when he was there. And so I think it would be cool to see a reunion. Him coming back to Dallas and whatnot. So I hope the best for him. I hope it works out. We'll see how that shakes down.
You think he fits the personnel, though? I mean, the way and it's just the evolution of things, right? I mean, kids have changed a little bit in the way they think. You think he still fits?
I think just because he's seen so much ball, he can tweak anything into, because even in Minnesota, like, our defense started out as this really, heavy cover 4 zone, and then we got into this man match kind of cover 3, still all within his baby, so to speak. But I think you adapt as the game adapts, as the offenses adapt to these kind of, everyone's a receiver type body. Now you got to have guys that can cover all those guys. So now your linebackers are getting smaller. Now your safeties are kind of these hybrid nickel corner type guys. And that's just how the game evolves. And so I think just when you have that much experience, you know how to tweak all those things and get the right guys in the right spot. He's just seen so much ball. I think he could do a very, very good job with the personnel in Dallas.
Knowing the personnel that the Cowboys have, secondary types, but also Micah Parsons, who, and Dan Quinn was a great defensive coordinator until that last game, right? But, he was. But so many people, why isn't Micah playing more linebacker? Why is he always lining up as an edge rusher? What do you think Mike Zimmer would do with a player like Micah Parsons?
Zim has always done a good job of finding those couple of guys on the guys that change the game, and he'll find a way to scheme them up to get them in the best position to make plays. We did that in Minnesota. Everson Griffin, Danielle Hunter, Harrison Smith, Anthony Barr, all these guys that were great blitzers, obviously great edge rushers, and finding ways to move them around, get them in different schemes in order to change the game. So I think for him, he would be able to evaluate what these guys are good at and be able to get them in the right spots in order to make the plays that they need to make.
Defensive coordinator for a team, is it the Cowboys in any hurry? I mean, do they need to be in any hurry? It's not like college where you're recruiting, right?
I mean, I think that the defense is so stacked personnel-wise that you don't have to. I think if you maybe were worried about there were some weaknesses in some areas, you might want to bring in that coordinator early so that you can address those issues in the draft and in free agency and whatnot. But there's so many players on that defense that you'll find the guys to kind of fit those roles.
Going to be interesting. Andrew Sendejo joining us here on the Blitz, working Radio Row. Obviously getting a lot of Mike Zimmer questions today. But also BrainTreeNutrition.com. You get out. You went to Rice, so you're smart. You got a lot of smart friends.
I got a lot of smart friends, and even smarter doctors on our medical consulting team that helped us formulate all these products. I launched BrainTree Nutrition after prolonged head trauma, concussions, TBIs, on myself and my teammates, and wanted to create a line of products to help enhance and preserve your cognitive function and brain health. So we set out and hired our medical consulting team to kind of validate these studies on certain ingredients that are backed by human clinical studies proven to be effective to help improve your focus, your memory, neuroprotection. We have products to help with your stress and anxiety. We have products to help with your sleep. We have products to help with your hydration, and just really trying to address these different areas to help improve your brain health. And like we always say, your brain health is your mental health. If you focus better, if you have a better memory, you're not forgetting where your keys are, you're not stressed, you're sleeping better, you're eating better, just overall kind of longevity, those are the things that lead to kind of these mental health problems. And so we're on the forefront of degenerative brain disease. We donate a portion of our proceeds for every sale to Alzheimer's research. And after my last concussion, had a lot of focus, a lot of memory problems, and I've been almost restore kind of my brain health, by taking these products. Like I said, I give them to my mom, my dad, my family. I take them. So I am a customer of my own products. So you can go check us out, BrainTreeNutrition.com. We have a 35% off sale, free shipping, money back guarantee. If you take the product and you decide you don't like it, we'll refund you your money. That's how confident we are in our products. So go check us out.
Well, I can say this: the sleep aid works.
The sleep is. We get a ton of good feedback on the sleep aid. I mean, almost. I'm not sure that we've had one person not like the sleep product. We use a branded form of tart cherry extract, which has been proven to reduce your time to fall asleep and increase your time being asleep. And so instead of, a lot of people are taking, Benadryl and these diphenhydramines and stuff, you wake up super groggy. This is like your all natural. It has naturally occurring melatonin in it. And so sleep is really the foundation of all kind of mental health, physical health. So that's really, honestly, it's always, people are always into the products that help you focus better and remember things better. But really, I've always promote first the natural way. There are natural ways to kind of do a lot of these things. Supplements are there to supplement what you're taking. They should not be your entire diet. And I'm even saying that as the business owner. I really should be on here saying you have to take these. But to be truthful, you can try. I always advise try to do these the natural way. And if you can't, now we have something to help you. But I always push the sleep first, because that kind of creates a cascade of issues if you're not sleeping well, from a cognitive function standpoint, from your physical energy, your diet, your cravings. The sleep controls everything. So, a good night's sleep kind of can fix a lot of your issues.
BrainTreeNutrition.com is the website. It's good stuff, I promise. And the hydration, the brain water?
The brain water.
Hydration, sure. But if you've been out drinking the night before, I don't know what you have in this, but you could sell it that way too, man.
Yeah, it's take your favorite hydration product and put it on steroids. Not put steroids in it, put it on steroids, and that's what our brain water is. It helps with cognitive function, physical endurance, mood. We have all the electrolytes, no sugar. It tastes amazing. Like I said, a lot of people are out here drinking all these sugar packs and all this different stuff, but hydration is a big part of your cognitive function. But yeah, if you're traveling, you're working, you're studying, you have to focus, you're drinking, you're working out, all those things, it can help improve all those areas.
BrainTreeNutrition.com. Andrew Sendejo, always good seeing you, my friend.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. More coming up from Vegas here on Radio Row on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.